I'd like to set the stage. In the research that I did leading up to this that we talk about today, I discovered something I'd never heard about, and it is called the Sally-Ann test. Now, this is a test that is usually administered for children between the ages of 3 and 4, because it's at this point in our lives, in our early childhood development, that we are able to pass this test. And it is shown that young readers who do so for pleasure, do so for study, mostly for pleasure, let's face it, when you're about 3 or 4 years old, what are you studying? That if they read a lot, that they're able to pass this test much, much more quickly. But first, of course, we want to understand what that test is. So in the Sally-Ann test, imagine, if you will, that there is a child observer, and it's this child that we're testing. We are going to understand with this test what they're capable of imagining in other entities, other beings other than themselves, other human beings, and that they would have the ability to have a sense of people having different information from themselves. So I won't say any more before I talk about literally what happens in the test. So a child will observe a room, and in that room there will be an object. It could be something as simple as a golf ball, or in the one that I read, it was a marble. And so a child at about 3 years old who has not yet developed this capability in themselves, this thing that I will reveal, you ask them at first, this golf ball that they see in the room, you would ask them, where is the golf ball? And they would answer, oh, well, it's right there in front of me. And you would just set it, say, for example, on the floor. Then the next step of the test is to move that golf ball, move that marble, and go and put it into a box. You could then ask a child, this child, where is the marble, where is the golf ball now? And the child will answer, regardless of age, or not regardless, but at this point in time, they would be able to tell you, oh, well, the golf ball, of course, it's been put in a box now, because that's where someone has put it. They're aware of that. The next step of the test, someone else comes into the room. Let's call that person, the person who moved the golf ball or the marble. Let's say that they're Anne. The next person that comes into the room is Sally. We would ask the observing child, where do you think that Sally thinks the golf ball is? And if a child has not yet developed this empathy, this cognitive ability yet, they will answer that Sally thinks